9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
A wise man once said, "Ah!" I think those are words that are very fitting for this day and age. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the NAHU Extra. I'm Ray Catola, joined here by Mike Prebozy, Rod Allums Jr. We're here to talk about a lot of the carryover action into tonight's card. Tonight, Tuesday, September 11th, at Running Aces Casino and Racetrack. Mike Prebozy will be joining us to talk about this Pick 5 carryover, which has a carryover of approximately $39,000. It's a jackpot bet, so you got to try and be the lone ticket to try and take down that jackpot. If you're not, well, you still get to take home some consolation prize, and extra money from the pool carries over. So far through this season, we're getting closer to that $40,000 mark. And if it does not get hit tonight, there's not one ticket that hits it tonight, we can definitely see over $40,000 in play in this jackpot pick 5 for the mandatory payout this Saturday, September 15th, which I also want to remind everyone watching this at the moment or in the future, or whenever you're watching this, it's right now if you're watching it, we will be live from Running Aces Casino and Racetrack Saturday, September 15th, when the mandatory payouts are live, including this jackpot pick 5 and any other bets that will be going through the card. We have other carryovers to talk about and
giveaways on Saturday. Don't forget that.
Whoa, Rod! Only one of us can talk at the same time here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm talking now.
No. The baton is here. I have not passed you the baton. Wait. I don't have the baton at the moment, but trust me.
Yeah, because I have it.
I'm talking. And then the moment I stop talking to leave you talk, Rod, you got a lot to learn in the entertainment industry.
No, I don't.
The track announcer for Running Aces Casino and Racetrack will be joining us a little bit later to talk about the Pick 3 carryover, which, Rod, you can remind us how much that is, as well as the Pick 4 carryover.
Early Pick 3, 50-cent minimum bet. Tonight at Running Aces, $1,131.87. The early Pick 4 50-cent minimum carryover is $1,634.86, and the 50-cent high 5 in race 8 is $1,703.07.
And that's just free money, ladies and gentlemen. It's as if I just opened up my wallet and said, "Here, take this," and then you get it. You have a chance to get it. Mike, however, is more focused, as we will be for the next couple minutes, on this Pick 5 that starts in the 5th race. Non-winners of $3,700 in the last 4 starts. It's a condition trot with a bunch of other conditions tagged onto it, including an also eligibility tag that just basically gives the race to Pride Crest. Do we all agree? Do we all agree that Pride Crest is probably not losing here?
Yes.
I mean, I think so. I think he's winning, unless he breaks. I mean, that's pretty much the only reason he wouldn't.
Do you think it's worth it to try and bet on that circumstance?
The only other horse I could see winning the race is the 5, who's getting a drop. Raced well last time to condition level. 1-3 back as the favorite. But has lost, quite significantly to Pride Crest the last 2 starts. It's a short field. Really no excuse for the favorite here. 11 of 19 this year. I would just single and move on.
I agree. The 6th race turns this into a Pick 4 if we're all singling Pride Crest in the opening leg. This second leg is a claiming condition event for non-winners of 6 or some other tags to go along with it. We got a field of 6 going postward here. And Mike, to start things off, I thought this was actually a fairly wide open race.
Very, very wide open for me. I use them all. I think that anything can probably win. I didn't want to use 4 or 5 out of 6. The 1 has a chance from the rails, raced well last 2 starts. The 2, very similar, gets a post switch. Has been racing well. Dead heated for second last time at a big number, and it's consistent this year. I mean, it is 15 times in the money. There's nothing wrong with that. Or Mr. Ranger's always dangerous, won 4 in a row, and then got tired last time on a sloppy racetrack. I would throw that out. My Frisky Boy was loaded last time as the favorite, just couldn't reach. They all have a chance. The 5 and 6 also have chances. So being that I'm singling in the first leg, I will use them all in the second and hope for some chaos.
Now, Rod is our resident expert, and I use that term incredibly loosely for Running Aces Casino and Racetrack over at NAHUpicks.com. Rod, now give us a taste of why we, for some reason, agreed to call you a Running Aces expert. Give us a little taste, a little semblance of that opinion of yours that just puts it over the top of everyone else's.
Well, I think Mike's on the right track here, but if you toss the last race for Mr. Ranger, he wins this race fairly easily, I think. That's the only problem. I'm 3 deep, though. I'm using the 3 Mr. Ranger. He's been extremely sharp other than that last start in the slop, so that could just be a slop issue there. The other thing with him is he's the one that they have to catch. He's going to be on the front at the 3/4 pole, and they're going to have to beat him the hard way. So I think he's a must play there. The 5 Raging's Flight, I don't think is going to be the favorite at post time. He's morning line favorite. He'll probably be second choice here, but he's coming off a win where he beat Mr. Ranger last time, and he seemed to like the slop. But this is a different type of race. It's going to be on a fast track tonight. I don't think he's going to get that perfect setup like he did last time where the front end just falls back to him. It's going to be a bit of a tougher task tonight, so use him, but don't go crazy on him off of that win. And then the 6 Goody Two Socks, he's been racing okay. You look 3 and 4 starts back, this horse, he got 2 old trips, but he was first and second, was right there. And, he got beat by Barbosa 4 starts back, who's way out of this level now. And I think he fits well. Goes back to Alexia Keelbarn, where he was racing really well, and Rick McGee jumps back on. So I like the whole situation with this horse. I think he's going to get a nice setup here, whether him leaving or pulling off the gate. I think he's definitely got a big shot here. So 3, 5, 6.
Well, don't neglect with Goody Two Socks either. 2 starts back. This horse was in against Fire Drake, Stucky Dote, some of the best paces on this track. And then even looking further back to July 21st, this horse lost again to Stucky Dote, Swagasaurus Rex, Make It Big. A lot of horses that are above this caliber. And the moment Mike mentioned this horse, then you started to talk about him too. I called an audible. And now we know in the history of NAHU Extras that my audibles have been somewhat successful. I tossed Raging's Flight off my ticket, and I put this horse on. I think this horse provides a lot more value in the sequence. Not only that, has a lot more class than Raging's Flight, and I say class in terms of the horse's ability against tougher horses in the past, as well as just the overall form. This horse can get off the gate from an outside post, and that's going to be vital if Mr. Ranger turns out to be better than all of them, because there's no doubt Mr. Ranger's going to the front and just going to try and go all the way. That said, Goody Two Socks is one of 3 horses in this race I use. Can't Hold Me Back, Mac being the other, who gets an inside draw after shooting to the front last time from post 7. This horse always seems to be up in contention. Another one that has raced against much better horses in the past, was very competitive against Fire Drake in that preferred back on August 25th, but again was probably just a bit out of his element and out of his comfort zone. So if anything, he could end up being close enough where Mr. Ranger gives up, he can go around and win in the same way Goody Two Socks can. So I'm 2-3-6 in the second leg of this pick 5. Brings us to the third leg, race number 7, non-winners of 4 event, with a field of 6 going postward. And Mike, again, what's interesting is we have these short fields, but they're very condensed in talent, I think.
This is a tough race, I thought, too. You could go a number of different ways. 3 deep. I'm going to try the 2. This horse race, comes off 2 straight wins, draws well again, and basically is at the same level. Had a bit of a perfect trip last time, and I'm not necessarily huge on that, but he's sharp and hard to leave off just because I think he sort of maybe is the now horse in this class right now. The 3 Whistle Sticks. This horse raced in that open claimer last time. That's a tough race. Was drawn outside. Has had bad post recently. Fits at this level. Another one that's consistent and, any kind of trip at all. And this horse doesn't maybe like to win all the time, but any kind of setup, I think the horse can win. And then the 5, Forgive Us Our Sins. Another one, parked every step last time, no chance. Was very wide, 2 back, and flew home and lost to a perfect trip because I'm happy. I like those last 2 races. I like McGee getting back on. And this horse could be a price in the race. Probably will be flying late again, so 2-3-5.
Sounds like Mike likes a lot about this race. Rod, can we say the same about you?
I like the inside. I'm just going 1 and 2 here. The 1 because I'm happy. I like that the horse draws the rail again. Should be sitting right up close. Gets J.D. Oder back on the drive. Has been in really good form recently. He had that first over, try 3 back where he kind of faded late, but he should get a trip right up close on the front or the 2-hole. I think he has to be used. And then the 2, Mark 10-27. This one's in the sharpest form of any in the race. He's won 2 in a row. He jumped up and won last week, and I did have him on top there, so you're welcome if you bet him because he went off, 3-1 or 7-2, I think. 7-2 he went off. But the inside post, he's going to look for a trip again, and if he gets that trip, he can definitely win. I think he's probably going to be the favorite. I didn't see anything else in this race that could go off and win it, but I do think the horse definitely plays and should be used as likely favorite. 1-2.
Sounds like you didn't forgive their sins. You didn't forgive them at all. You didn't want to be very compassionate and realize, this horse was racing in the slop, went first over, tough race. Maybe just didn't like the conditions. This has been one of the driving forces at this class level in recent months. And was another one that exited the claiming tags as Mark 10-22 does here in this race, or Mark 10-27, excuse me, does in this race, and that has proven to be beneficial. Not only that, probably a decent handicapping angle too. That said, I feel Forgive Us Our Sins is a contender. He can definitely bounce off of that performance, assuming the track is fast tonight. And Mark 10-27 is definitely on the up and up because he's dropping that claiming tag. Instead of going into the straight numbers of 4 and 5 as he's in here, he tried to go for the notch below this, the ones that were for sale after moving up from the numbers of 3, and he dominated that field. That said, the fact that he dominated that field the way he did, I throw him on, as we all do, because we know a good horse when we see one. It looks like, okay, he's a pretty decent horse. He can get out. You can get a decent trip. If you get the decent trip, he can probably go from all the way to the winner's circle. Because I'm happy he's another one, and he's the 3rd and final horse I use in this race, then unfortunately, it's not going to be double-digit odds as he, for some reason, was in his last 2 starts. The fact that he won at 48-1 2 starts back in hindsight is criminal. And then last out, at the same level, he went on 27-1. There's zero thought into the betting board of those races at all. But I digress. Because I'm happy he's no way going to be near those odds that are they're making me drool right now thinking about it. But definitely he's still a contender nonetheless, especially from an inside post. 1-2-5 for me in the 3rd leg. This is the 4th leg, claiming handicap. Now I think this is where the races kind of get a bit easier, Mike. I'm not sure you agree because it's really hard to find anything outside of the main horses.
I'm 3 deep here. I don't mind this race. I think the 1 is a chance. Bebe moves in, gets inside draw again. I like that race 3 back. Tossed the slop race last time. He's going to be a price. I like the driver switch to Wiseman here. I feel like he's going to be closer early, and that should be significant. The 3, Best Dream Seeker. This horse, has been long prices the last couple starts. Gets away from Barbosa. Gets away from Smoke Rings. Those are good horses there, and I think from off the pace should be get a little bit of a setup here, especially with some of these horses that like to leave, and then the 5 Tornado Henry who popped last time. This horse kind of wins just at random. You would think that he's just off form, and then he all of a sudden pops and wins. That was a big race last time though at a price. Beat Argenta, who is in very good form right now. I like the post draw here. I feel like he's going to go early, and he's not going to be 13-1, but I feel like he's going to be somewhere in the middle, maybe 5-6-1, and that's okay with me. So 1-3-5.
Okay, well, that's the direction Mike's going. Rod, which direction you going?
I kind of agree with him, but I think the race is a little bit more wide open. The 1, Abebe, definitely plays from the rail, gets Wiseman back on the drive, should be sitting right up near the pace, and has a big shot from there. The price play in the race, if you're looking to hit this jackpot here, obviously you can't single Pride Crest and hit the jackpot, I don't think, but the big price play here is the 2, Mucho Macho Man. He moves inside after 2 straight outside draws, had no chance to win either one of those starts and raced really good last time from way, way back. Did not have a very good trip there. But you go back in his lines a little bit, and he plays against these. Just needs to be closer. That's his biggest thing. I think he likes to be right up near the pace, and he's been fairly decent. I mean, his last 2 starts you can toss, and he got impeded 2 starts ago. But you look back, and this horse is competitive in this group. He definitely plays. The 3 best Dream Seeker. I agree with Mike. I have nothing else to add with him. And then the 7, Sinalta Diesel. I'm going to throw him on. Outside post is the concern there. J.D. Yoder picks up the drive. It's a different angle here because Steve Wiseman is on the 1, but I don't know what he's going to do with him. He could duck, he could leave. The horse was really good on the motor for about 3/8 of a mile last time, and he raced very well there. 3 starts back, he sat the rail in 1. So he's very versatile. I like that about him. I think he can kind of play this race by ear and see what happens early on. And if he needs to go, he can go. And if he wants to duck, I think he's perfectly fine doing that as well. So 1, 2, 3, 7.
I could care less what J.D. Yoder does. I only want him to win. The Sinalta Diesel is one of 2 horses I use in this race because I see nothing outside of Sinalta Diesel and Tornado Henry. Part of me was wondering if I should just single Sinalta Diesel because I used Tornado Henry almost reflexively off the victory. He sat that pocket trip, he showed the speed to get up there, and he ended up winning as a result, whether it's because the horses he was in against did not take to the surface, and he did, so then he had that advantage on them. That's all conjecture, that's all theorizing that I am not smart enough to actually get correct. However, he has shown speed in most of his starts from inside posts. The difference is he's now more towards the center of the gate. Tornado Henry I could definitely see getting into contention. I without a doubt see Sinalta Diesel leaving. There's not enough speed in this race to really put this horse towards the back of the pack. He is the speed of the race. 2 starts back, you could throw that out as a total anomaly over that sloppy track. You could even blame the sloppy track if you want to. But if this horse really wants to be a factor in this race, he has to leave. That's the way I see it. It could definitely be wrong. I could totally be wrong here, but I don't see much outside of the 5 and the 7, so I'm too deep. And the 4th leg.
Does it bother you that the horse, never seems to do well whenever he steps up in class? He always kind of drops and wins, but the class, the last time this horse has been at this level, he's been terrible, and now he draws outside. And
look at the classes some of these other horses have been racing. Mucho Macho Man comes from the hours of 850.
I don't like him either.
Best Dream Seeker comes from 850. Cosmos comes from 850. There's not really
the three comes from 5 claimers, same level as this one.
But the point I'm making though is that they all come from that lower class level where we saw Sinalta Diesel win, and he won against a higher level too. The downwards of 1700. I think that's pretty comparable, if you ask me.
Okay, that's fine. I was just curious. That's all.
Final leg, 9th race of the Pick 5. That means it's the 5th leg. It's the 2nd division of this claiming handicap. And, oh my God, you thought I had a concise opinion in that last race. Wait until you hear me on this one. Mike, the one question I have for you, though, is are there any horses outside of the 8 or 9 have a shot here?
I like those too. The outside draw is a problem, but both of them, I think the 9 will leave. The 8 always ducks and comes, so he'll likely sit unless he decides to follow the 9 out. The 9's extremely sharp and difficult to go against. I mean, it's had 8, 8, 7, 7 last 4 races, and it's been in the exact all 4 of those times. Problem is, he doesn't necessarily like to win this year. Won 7 times last year, twice only this year with 14 shares. He's going to be bet hard. The problem is if he gets the front, I think he controls it. The 8's going to be tough, in very good form. Won 2 races in a row, and then had a tough trip against Barbosa. Another one that's going to be played. The other one I'm using is the 5 Ramsey. This horse has raced well at this level. Has had outside posts and tough trips the last 3 races. Prior to that one here on August 7th at this level, gets a driver switch, and I don't mind that because sometimes a new set of hands is something that will wake a horse up, and Svensson is very capable here. I would expect the horse to be a little bit closer early. Any kind of trip, and the horse has a chance, especially with the main rivals being outside. So 5, 8, 9.
How about you, Rod? Is there any hope for anyone that's not the 8 or the 9?
Yeah, I like the 5. I don't like the 8 smoke rings to win the race because he's a horse that definitely has to have things his way to win. And if you look at his wins at basically anywhere this season, they've all been with perfect setups. So I don't like his chances in here from way outside. But the 5 Ramsey, he gets a new barn here. Wiseman had to take the 9, not even because his wife owns the horse, but the horse is in great form right now. It's hard to go against that horse. But Ramsey goes to the Plested Wiseman barn. This one's been just, not really racing like himself recently. I think he's in for a better effort tonight and definitely plays here. He's got a good post. I think we see him fire off the gate and look to sit close to the pace here, especially with the barn change in. You get Mooney Svensson driving. And the 9 Argento, I mean, what do you need to say about him? He's been razor sharp his last 5-6 starts and, just needs to be close turn for home without getting used too much early. If he does, I think he's very beatable here from post 9. So 5 and 9 for me to close it.
I kept looking up and down the page. Regina Beach, for me, second start off the injury scratch is somewhat appealing, but this horse's efforts at this level are not necessarily eye-catching. The draw helps, but it's not really one I'd use. Lucky Ivan can never finish a mile, so I can't really use him. Walker Meister's interesting when I look at him, because he put in that race last hour. He moved 3 wide.
Time out.
What?
This is the first announcement you're ever going to hear this. I just got word from Running Aces that Saturday night on closing night while we are there, the pick 5 guarantee will be $100,000.
Wow.
$100,000 guarantee in the pick 5 for Saturday night.
Why couldn't Darren have given us that information 30 minutes ago so I could have made one of those Japanese game show flashing animations?
Well, I'm sure you could put that out.
Well, yeah, but just not right now. We would have to go into pose.
That's going to be a good pool, though. That's going to be fun that night for sure. Hopefully they have some big fields there. I'm sure they.
Oh yeah, they'll be full.
About a good pool or two, because Mike was a champion swimmer in high school. I don't know how it runs genetically in your family then, though. But back to what I was saying. Walker Meister, that race last out somewhat appealing, but he's another one that can't finish a mile. Polaris is too old. I think the horse should just retire. Ramsey, you guys keep talking about him, and I could see him if he returns to that form he showed a month ago. But he also has to return to that form he showed a month ago, and that's really hard. That's hard for me to see, but it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. Who Dat Love doesn't really seem to have the form necessary to win. Hello Sevens, I'd like from an inside post. He draws outside, and that just leaves me with 2 horses, or else I pass the race. Smoke Rings can definitely get that perfect setup that Rod was talking about that he needs. I don't see that as impossible. I think he might be overbet looking at that 9-5 morning line. I'd much rather take Argento, who's going to show the speed to put himself into contention and to get him the win, because how this race sets up is it looks like whoever gets the front just has to finish the mile. Everyone else is just going to be retreating in that final 16th. It's just whoever has the guts to finish off the race. And Argento seems like North could probably do it. Smoke Rings I could see coming if the pace collapses, and that's definitely possible too. So I'm left with nothing creative in my hands. I have to take the 8 and the 9 because I see absolutely nothing else. But fortunately, my ticket's fairly cheap. As a result, I don't think it's going to go to a single ticket. And of course, by me thinking that, it probably goes down tonight. But we all agree that it would take a lot of chaos for this to not carry over.
Yep.
And all said, here's my ticket. For 20 cents, I'm 6, 2, 3, 6, with 1, 2, 5, with 5, 7, with 8, 9. That's $7.20 for 20 cents. Mike, your ticket.
6 with all, with 2, 3, 5, with 1, 3, 5, with 5, 8, 9. It's 32, 40. And I'll see y'all. Hey, Darren.
Darren Gagne just joining us. The audio hasn't seemed to come into the booth just yet. Your ticket then?
My ticket is 6 with 356 with 1-2 with 1237 with 5-9. It's $9.60 for 20-cent ticket. It's on NAHUpicks.com. Bang!
I assure all of you that Rod did not just improvise that ticket as we were doing this. He's not like me in that way. This is all
Thank
up
the
on
Lord.
NAHUpicks.com, I assure you. And for anyone wondering too, Mike's face does actually look that close up in person.
Come on.
Hopefully Darren can hear us. Can you hear us, Darren?
I can hear you. How you doing, guys?
Fantastic. Well, I'm not doing fantastic. I'm doing fairly all right.
So we just announced we want the official word from the racetrack about the pick 5 for
We're looking at
Sunday.
$100,000 guarantee for Saturday night for the pick 5.
You heard it here first. NAHUpicks.com on the NAHU Extra. $100,000 guarantee Saturday night.
Did you forget what we were doing?
Yeah, it's huge. It's the biggest guarantee that we've ever done at Running Aces, so we're pretty excited about it.
Oh yeah, $100,000 is a lot of money. That if I were to take down that entire pool,
But you won't.
I could go to college.
What would you do, Ray?
I could afford 3 of the 4 years of college I need. Oh God! Now, Darren, you have to card these races specifically so I could be the only ticket.
There you go.
But Darren's joining us to talk about the other
Study
carryovers.
And
Oh,
wait, we do have
Race
a
202.
Submission there. Ken Terpenning says if Art Genta wins the last race, he will buy drinks on Saturday. We're holding you to that, Ken. So thanks for the drinks. I hope Art Genta wins now.
can I take chocolate milk percent? Not whole. That's too much for me.
We're putting Ray in an Uber.
I like my beverages to be 2% milk and the other 98% I try to figure out while I drink. So, Darren, joining us. Darren, the first thing I have to ask is what happened Sunday that created all these carryovers? How did everything go wrong? Darren? Oh!
Can you hear us?
I assure you we're saying words. This is live television at its greatest. Aside from someone running into the camera and shouting things about female genitalia. That's a throwback to like a 2008 meme that thankfully died.
What do you mean, thankfully?
Guys, bad connection here, breaking up a lot.
Yeah, I figured.
Darren, you're breaking up with me?
Well, all right, we're going to start with race 1. So,
okay.
This is the start of the early pick 3. So, where are you at in race 1?
Remind us of the carryover first.
Carryover for the pick 3 is $1,131 and change.
That's a 50-cent minimum.
Yep. So, we'll start in race 1. If my stuff would ever load too, my lord,
it's a non-winners of 3 to 4 or 25,000 lifetime with a non-winners in last 6 starts allowed 5%. Running Aces numbers 1 and 2 uncoupled neutral entry. Minnesota sired/owned allowed 1 extra pari-mutuel win, 30% of earnings. Minnesota sired additional 50% claiming allowance. MN equals Minnesota sire. L equals Lasix. B equals Butte. F equals Banami. Wait, why would it be Banami? K equals Ketoprofen.
All right, all right. It's enough of that. Darren, who do you like in the first race? Did Darren freeze up on us? I think he froze up on us.
The only thing he has to do is walk towards the window. That opens up the connection in that booth. I know what's going on up there, which is strange because I actually had nice connection up in the Running Aces booth. And he's going to try and call us back. So Rod then... I was looking at this race, and it looks to me Guns and Money is a pretty decisive favorite. But when you have a decisive favorite, you got 2 options. You use them or you beat them. What do you do? What do you do in this race?
Yeah, he's going to be a big favorite. I think he's beatable, though. I'm going to start with the one Too Much Too Quick. Draws the rail once again. I liked the race last time. The horse was in against Probert's Legacy the last 2 starts, which crushes this field, and even Phenomenal, it would dominate the rest of these. So I think this horse from the rail should get a nice trip, should be up close, and brings a little bit of value here. The 3, Opticrombie, gets Wiseman for the first time, and this horse might take a little bit of money just because she's had Longo driving, now gets Wiseman, who's the leading driver. Definitely plays for me. I think you're going to see improvement and maybe a little bit of aggressiveness from Steve Wiseman for the 3 Opticrombie. Play as a little bit of value, and then the 4 Guns and Money is obvious. Have to use the horse. Not really a winning type, I don't think, but she's going to be right, or he's going to be right up near the front end. So I think you have to have this horse on your tickets, and those are the 3 I'm using there: 1, 3, and 4.
I didn't even mention the one other horse I use. Opticrombie for me, this is all I can say is if I was playing this race, which I might bet in this pick 3. If I'm watching the board of this race, I'll use Opticrombie if she's around that 5-1 morning line. If she's taking a lot of play, I'm not gonna use her because I'd rather try and get her at a higher price with the potential for improvement rather than get a short price relying on that improvement. Because going back on Lasix is definitely going to help, but her last couple of lines just don't really leave much for me to care about unless Steve Wiseman can drop this horse 2 seconds. I don't really see her being a win contender, so that's why I'm on the fence about using her. It's going to come down to what she is on the board. Guns and Money is incredibly obvious. He's going to the lead, and he's just going to try to go all the way. The horse that most likely sits in the pocket, if not the 1, is the 2, Baya's Delight, who finished 3rd last time out, draws better after starting from post 5 last out. 2 starts back, had the rail, got away well, but then used herself up early when she made that move circling to the top of the half, and then she quit towards the end of it because she used herself up. And you look back at her lines too, she's losing to Empty Gunslinger, Whizzle Sticks, a bunch of horses that have done really well at this level. So she has the back class to perform well, she has the ability to perform well, and she has the draw to perform well. But she's also probably the second choice. So all of those words, you could have just read the billboard to figure that out. I think the 2 and the 4 are the main contenders in that first leg of the pick 3. Darren, hopefully you can hear us. Hopefully the connection's good. What do you see in the first leg of that pick 3 with an $1,100 carryover?
Pardon me?
What?
Leg
First
1.
leg of the pick 3 carryover, if you can hear us.
My first leg of the pick 3?
Yep.
First race I went 3 deep. I went with 2, 4, and 5. Guns and Money looks like it's going to be the horse to beat in race 1 tonight. That being said, I think Baya's Delight, Avoid the Noid have a chance, but for me it looks like the 4 in race 1.
Avoid the Noid's a bit of an interesting pick for you there. Do you think she gets up into the mid early? Because I feel like that's the only way she can win.
Pardon me?
With Avoid the Noid, it seems like she's one that has to be put up towards the front in order to win, because she's also making a move up in class. I left her off of the ticket as a result, but I'm kind of curious.
A sharp win 3 starts back. I know it was a non-winners at 1 level, but I'm just looking for, maybe she can improve tonight. The 6 horse, by the way, is scratched here in the first race. To mention that. So we're down to a 5 horse field. 6 never had a shot anyway. I don't think the 1 has much of a shot. I don't think the 3 has much of a shot. So I liked the 4 and the 2, and I thought throw one more horse in there that maybe if the race sets up right and the horse trips out, could possibly win. I threw in the 5 in that situation.
I'm feeling better that my opinion's aligning more with yours, Darren, than it is with Rod's. Rod, you should be very concerned already.
Nope.
With this first leg of the pick 3. The second leg is an odds of 2,700 their last 4 pace. And you have a Hawthorne shipper here in the 5. Along came Jake, who's been racing against similar competition over on the mile track and performing. Now, Rod, is she the standout in this race? Because Capitol Hill is also making a big drop in class around.
No, definitely not a standout. I'm 4 deep here. I thought this race was wide open. The one Squeeze Me definitely plays. Made a first over bid last time. Raced very well with the win. I like this horse. This is a very similar spot. Draws the rail. Should stay halfway close. Doesn't have a lot of gate speed, but has flashed a little bit of speed here and there. I think she definitely plays and is in pretty good form off that last race. The 4, Boom Boom Shaboom, one I think has to be used on the class drop. Definitely plays in a decent spot. Will likely try to look for a trip. The key is if he fires to the lead with this mare, I think she wins the race, and I think she wins handily because she loves the front end. The 5, Along Came Jane, is that Hawthorne shipper. Has been racing against pretty tough horses in Chicago, but I think maybe if she gets a trip that she doesn't really like here, she's very beatable, and she's going to be the favorite probably. And then the 6, Capitol Hill, comes in off a decent race. The only problem with her is that she tries to get a trip, never ever leaves the rail. So that's my only concern with her, and she's going to take some money. So, play cautiously with that horse. So 1, 4, 5, 6 for me in the pick 3 for a second leg.
Now, Darren, 6-horse field, do you think it's as wide open as Rod's saying?
Honestly, I don't. I also think it's interesting that Rod went 2 deep in the pick 4 in this race. Am I? Maybe I'm off base on that.
No, I went 4 deep here.
Listen, I think the 3 outside horses are what it's all about here. The 5, Along Came Jane, I agree, is probably going to take the most money, is going to be the favorite. And any occasions this season here running aces, we've had horses shipping in from Hawthorne that they always take a lot of action. A lot of them I really wasn't too keen on, but I'll tell you what, their win percentage first start here off of Hawthorne, really high. I don't have the exact number for you right now, but I want to say it's above 70%. I mean, a really high number of these shippers coming in from Hawthorne, getting back down and delivering on first out here locally. So I think the 5 is the horse to beat. Because of that. The 6, Capitol Hill, is the big class dropper. Boom Boom Shaboom, racing in the opens several times as well for the fillies and mares. And a sharp effort last time out when dropping down to the non-winners of 5,000. Drops down again and could be a big threat there. So I like the 4, Boom Boom Shaboom, possible big threat. The 5, I think, is going to be the horse to beat, and the 6, Capitol Hill.
I'm thinking of going 2 deep here because Capitol Hill has shown a lot of speed in her past couple of starts, but she's also had a distinct post advantage, and a lot of times that can instantly plate you into the mix early. Now she is the outermost post of all these horses, and that kind of makes me wonder, is she going to get off the gate? Is she going to be in that front spot? Where
take a look at where she won from last, Ray.
What it do, baby boo?
No, where she won from last.
Where she won from?
06.
Oh, that's not in my program. Maybe I should add that on my program.
You should. Definitely.
That's why you go get the free program from runaces.com.
I get mine from Trackmaster. That's probably my first problem. But I still go 2 deep. Boom Boom Shaboom, I feel, is coming in much better than Capital Trip, especially with the post advantage. Get off the gate well, be up close, and kick home strongly. A lot of these horses have a hard time kicking home strongly, and when you have a horse like a Lumpkin who's been coming final quarters in 27 and change, 28 and change, even though it's on the bigger track, you still need a horse who can come home in sub 29 here in order to have much of a shot in that. So I feel the 4 and the 5 are the 2 main horses. The 4 is probably the better price of them. Capitol Hill, I'm going to take a shot. Maybe she doesn't leave. Maybe. Taking a shot. I grab my gun, cut, bam. That's a shot that I just took. Moving on to the 3rd of this pick 3. It's a filly and mare open. Ooh. Oh, and we got Gold Star Misty starting from the outside post. This mare just been phenomenal all season at running aces. Her last 4 starts, 3 of them were victories at this level. does this field stand a chance against her? Because to this point, it's been kind of chalky in this pick 3, and with the carryover, I want to take a shot somewhere.
I think that Kiss on the Lips has a shot.
Yeah.
Kiss on the Lips is inside of Gold Star Misty here, the 5 and 6 horses. So those two mares, they go battle every single week. I like both of these mares.
Yeah, they're going.
Yeah, and you know the thing I think that kind of trumps everything is how hard does Gold Star Misty have to work to get to the front? That's going to be the key in the race, and I think Bobcat's going to try to push as much as he can off the wings to leave her out there to make her work to get to the lead. So I'm using 5 and 6.
What about you, Darren?
Listen, I think Gold Star Misty can make the front in the bottom. I think we could see these two just battle it out around the track as we've seen so many times. So I agree with you. The 5 certainly has a chance here. I just think Gold Star Misty has really returned to her top of her game. She's won 3 out of her last 4 starts. And I think if we do see a ding-dong battle between these two, and I know you love that, Ray, ding-dong battle. I still think that Gold Star Misty would prevail.
You don't think that if they go neck and throat the whole way, as a ding-dong diddle to the wire, let's make it alliteration. If they go ding-dong diddle and all around the track, do you think it maybe sets up for a horse like Totally Racy, who will just be stalking the whole way?
No.
Now,
Oh. Look, when it's morning line favorite after morning line favorite after morning line favorite,
It's not going to be. I just gave you all the price shots that can win.
You gave me the 2 favorites.
Besides this race. This race is pretty obvious.
I wasn't even listening
I'll
to
tell you what, Ray, listen. I did throw Totally Racy on my ticket for that very possible scenario that you mentioned, just in case. But I'll tell you what, these 2 mares, Kiss on the Lips and Gold Star Misty, they've done it so many times. The others haven't been able to keep up with them when they've done that. So I just see that it's definitely between those 2 outside mares. I threw the 4 on there just in case.
You see, Rod, was it so hard to actually give an explanation, or were you just making evident that you have no idea what you're talking about?
No, I'm just a good
I
handicapper.
say that from experience, Rodney. I say it from experience.
Yeah, but you don't know this track, so 5 and 6,
I don't even know
5
what it
and
is.
6. That's it.
Now, if the pick 3 maybe is not your forte, there is a carryover in this early pick 4 too that starts in the second race. Talked about 2 of the 4 races, 3 of the 4 technically, because Pride Crest is a single of the century. So, Rod, what is the carryover in this pick 4 again?
Pick 4 carryover, $1,634 and change.
And it's a 50-cent minimum starting in the second race. So the one race we are yet to talk about is the 4th, a non-winners of 4 pacing event with a field of 1, 2, 4, 6 going post-work. And now maybe this is the race where the prices just start to come out and play. Come on, please tell me it is.
Could be.
Okay.
There's a variable in this race. I don't like the race particularly. There's 0 speed other than maybe Yankee Time. That's the issue, because if you look at the program, you don't see any speed. Radiant has shown speed quite a few times in her past few starts. So that could be a key factor there. If she leaves and, if she happens to quit at the end of the mile from leaving and chasing, it could make things a little iffy when they turn for home, because there's going to be horses all over the racetrack. I think this is a highly competitive race. I have no opinion at all in this race, so I used all 6 of them. Just hit the all button.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you had no opinion, so that's why you used the 2 Radiant and no one else.
Nope, I hit all. All.
Darren, do you share those sentiments?
Listen, I tell you what, I look at this race and I say, yes, it could just be an all-button race. I didn't want to go in that direction, though. And so if I look at it a little bit closer, to me, I think it's all about Yankee time. And then I threw in the 5 as a backup here. I went with the 2 outside horses. I really think this race is going to be Yankee time all day long.
But if the problem, though, Darren, is that it's going to be night at a certain point. So is that going to impact him at all? It can't be day all the time.
It's going to be day here in Minnesota for race 4.
Okay. That's an important thing to know.
The sun will still be out.
The sun is technically still out at night.
Yeah, it is. And that's why I wear my sunglasses.
No, you do that because you want to look like a predator. Yankee time, I agree, is probably the one to beat in this race, especially from that outside post. But I also feel Radiant has a shot because of that inside draw and because she shows speed pass. But like Rod was saying, she forgets that she's in a race in that final quarter of a mile and just gives up. So the question is whether she does that or not, because she's the price. She's the price in this sequence. I think.
It's hard for me to jump on board on 0 for 16.
I don't care. I still use as my top choice. Radiant is my top choice. 10-1 morning line. Booking right now. Bang. Bang, bang.
To be fair.
The thing to note there is that you do have that driver change working for you as well.
Yep.
Well, to be fair also, that last race, tossed it completely over the slop. 2 starts, that pocket trip, and missed by 3/4 of the length of Whizzle Sticks. Good horse. There's some improvement I'm seeing. 3 starts back, 2 moves. Oh, now I'm getting invested in this horse. Now I want to see this horse win the Hamiltonian. I want to see this horse go straight to the top. That's what she can really go to win.
She can't win the Hamiltonian.
That's my opinion. On the 4th race. So to recap, the 2nd race starts the 4. I'm on the 4 and the 5. In the 3rd race, the 2nd leg, I'm on the 6. I don't think Gold Star Misty loses, just single. The 3rd leg, I'm on the 2 and the 6, and in the last leg, I'm on the 6, Pride Crest. So really, you can also just play this to have Radiant be long shot to make it pay anything. But Rod, for you, your ticket for this pick 4.
My ticket, the pick 4, which, by the way, all of our pick 4 tickets are brought to you by Brian Brown Stable. My early pick 4 ticket, 1, 4, 5, 6 with 5, 6 with all with 6. It's $24 for 50-cent ticket.
You saying that little Brian Brown made me realize that he needs a slogan. We'll think about that later. Darren, your ticket.
All right, my ticket is $27. 146 with 456 with 236 in race 4, and then 5 and 6 in race 5. Now listen, I know Pride is going to be 1 to 9, 1 to 5, and certainly looks like an open length winner on.
On what?
Right there, close up in the pocket behind Pride Crest. I think there is a possible scenario where he could edge past in the lane if the race sets up just that way, where Ideal Jesse is just right there in the pocket, just stalking the entire way. And, for that reason, I'm throwing him on the ticket.
Darren, that certainly is. We're going to move on from that to the last carryover to
Thoughts?
Thoughts on Pride Crest would have... Look, Ideal Jesse would have to take out a knife and slap this horse's tires to win. That's the way I see it. I think it would have to be old-fashioned West Side Story, East Brooklyn violence.
Well, listen, if Pride Crest breaks, I think Ideal Jesse is the winner. That's the only way I see him winning. But it is possible. We've seen it happen before.
Yes, Rod?
I said we've seen it happen before.
Now, there's one more carryover we have to talk about, and it's the Super 5 carryover. Rod, how much money is carried over in this high 5 for race 8?
$1,703.
Darren, you have turned into the wind.
There we go.
More of your beautiful tenor.
But race 8 is the high five.
Here we go. You ready for this? Race 8 high five. Tornado Henry on top for me.
Whoa!
Listen, this eighth race is wide open. You gotta take a stand somewhere, and I'll be honest with you, when I made my picks for this race, Sonalta Diesel had not won in 154 at that point. So that being said, Sonalta Diesel looked pretty sharp. I probably would have picked him on top, but that is the beauty of having horses racing on Sunday night back Tuesday or Saturday night back Tuesday. So I have Tornado Henry on top. I thought he really looked pretty sharp in that win last time out. In the slop, 155 flat. So went with the 5 on top over the 1, 3, 4, 7, 1, 3, 4, 7, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 in 5th position. But so this is a wide open race. My ticket on this high five is only $27.
Now the question, Darren, is although you didn't see Sonalta Diesel win that race in 54, do you think the fact that he went that fast only 3 days ago, and comes back to, you think that might play against him?
I don't. Honestly, I don't. I think that this horse can handle Addy. Addy's now won 2 out of his last 3 starts. Pretty sharp. I'll just be honest with you. If I had handicapped this race after Saturday night, I would have picked Sonalta Diesel on top. But my picks are already submitted. So I have Tornado Henry, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad pick because I think this is a wide open race. You just have to, take a stand somewhere and go with it.
Well, then you have to you're forced to take a stand, unfortunately, but I really, especially once you submit those graphics and then you look at the board and you go, I'm so wrong about this race, but I gotta lie about it for the show.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not as confident as I was when I made the pick, but I still think there's every chance that Tornado Henry could pull it out.
I was going to say, too, I feel like the key to this high five, for me, putting Sonalta Diesel on top, but also he grins again. This is a horse that's going to price that can certainly hit the ticket, and you want to find ways to try and be the lone ticket, because the high five carries over so much since the 50-cent minimum.
Okay.
It's not out there to be the one ticket.
Oh, no, we definitely see the lot or even 2 tickets. And it's going to be a nice pull tonight. Anytime we have any kind of a carryover close to $2,000, we see huge pulls, particularly on a Tuesday or a Sunday night. So, yeah, you could be definitely looking at a very nice payoff in this high five.
Now, Rod, remind me again, how much does this high five carry over?
$1,703.07.
$1,707.
Oh, $7 and change.
Tell Azaric there's a mistake.
Azaric, come on, man.
Azaric, that was fun listening to all that. Sorry I couldn't contribute to it. But that was fun.
I'm kind of irked out that Mike was just listening.
What a creeper.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's got to watch the show, right?
That's
yeah,
true.
we've had hundreds of people watching. We didn't need you creeping up on us. Oh, hey, guys, I just been sitting here creeping.
Rod, you keep delaying talking about this race, and I feel like it's because you have no opinion.
No, it's because you're saving the best for last. On top.
I haven't gotten yet.
On top, 1, 3, and 7. Bay gets the rail. Should be sitting close. A good trip is expected here. Just sitting there and gets Wiseman back on. The 3 best Dream Seeker definitely plays from an inside post again. Last time had no chance to win that race. I think he's going to be more aggressive here. That's my top choice in the race. The 7, Sonalta Diesel, like Darren said, was really good on Saturday night. Needs to be used, and I'm going to use him. But my ticket is 137 over 1237 over 1237 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and the same horses for 5th. It's $54 for a 50-cent ticket.
I still feel Sinalta Diesel is the key. Yeah, I'm gonna go ballsy. I'm gonna go ballsy to the wallsies. 7 over. I'm writing this down right for my future reference. 7 over 1. Cold. Those are the top 2. Then we have the 2, 3, 5, and 8 for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I don't know what that costs. I assume it's not a lot, but that's the Catolo.
About $2.
$1,000?
I said $2. I said $2.
It's $2, really?
No, it's probably like $8.
Oh, then yeah,
It's pretty cheap.
But it's not winning anyway, so you can just discard that.
It's definitely a Ray Catolo economy ticket, as usual.
Well, here's the thing, Darren. Ever since the market crash of 2008, I recognized that not many people have much money in their wallets anymore. Take me for
And
instance.
in 2008, where were you, 4?
Yeah, he was
I
still
have
changing the
5,
crap out of his
actually.
diapers.
I have 5. I was not in diapers until I was 20. Stop saying that about me. There's so many times we're at parties and I'm mingling, and then Rod comes up. This guy was in diapers till he was 4. Stop saying that. It's not, no.
All right, we got to go. We have to end the show. But we're going to be back on
I
Saturday.
have to go work my 5th job closing a Quiznos.
Hey.
Nicotolo. He's Darren Gagne. He's Rod Allums.
Yes.
He came back.
And the big news, the big news, Ray, is, what is it?
That, I know this.
$100,000 guarantee for Saturday night.
You see, I said those words, but my audio cut out.
Uh-huh.
It was very coincidental, very incidental. Won't happen again. That's right. $100,000 guarantee in the Pick 5 Saturday, September 15th, when we are live from Running East Casino and Racetrack. That again, Saturday, September 15th, for the Minnesota Night of Champions. You'll see the very best of Minnesota harness racing that is offered that night when we provide coverage on the simulcast feed as well as on our live feed over on Periscope, Facebook Live, YouTube, and on NAHUPicks.com.
Oh, yeah.
That's Rod's analysis for tonight's card over at NAHUPicks.com, and you can find Mike's analysis for tonight's card at Mohawk over at NAHUPicks.com. Find Darren at Running Aces. If you're not there, then you can find him on TV.
By the way.
What do you have to say? Yes, by the way, yes.
12 races supposed to be 12 races on Saturday. We've got live helmet cam, 360 camera on YouTube, on our feed, live the entire night. It's going to happen. First time in history you're going to see a live 360 helmet cam.
And all of that, of course, part of our new initiative with our new sister company, Slobbert's Broadcasting System. All of that said, all of that done, I have been Ray Catolo, been the NAHU Extra, and if it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press. Wait, that's a god